Are you wondering if you actually have a deal or not? In this video, I'm going to break down a real life conversation with a wholesaler that called our office and had a property under contract from the MLS. Now, many takeaways here include how to properly evaluate a deal, why you should always plan for more period, option period, inspection period time frame with your agent or motivated seller, and why it matters to understand what's going on in the market that you are actually operating in. All that coming up and more. What's up, everybody? If you don't know me, my name is Joey Aponte. I've wholesaled hundreds of houses and I've helped create multiple six-figure wholesaling machines that build their house buying machines with us. And in this channel, my attempt is to help you get your first or your next deal and help you out in your real estate investing journey. If you want to make sure you support the channel, make sure you click subscribe and like, and let's get right into it. Okay, sorry about that, I'm back. Okay, so this deal, you got it off the MLS and you're thinking that the ARV is about 300. Let's take a look at the comps here. So you got it under, so I see it listed, it's listed for 152. You got it under contract for 147, and it's in Alvin, Texas. I'm looking through the pictures. Seems like a solid house, but seems like a midway rehab. It seems like it needs a lot of work still to be done. When is your inspection period done by? Hello? Cause
Alright, so I was just reviewing over the contract. It's around 4 days from now.
okay, that's really tight. It being, a holiday. I'd recommend,
Yeah.
you gotta, you want to leave yourself at least 7 days, unless you believe like you have a pocket buyer. I mean, and I mean at least. Now let's see here. So in this part of town, did you take a look at the comps? Do you have access to the actual comps in Texas, it being a non-disclosure state, or you're just working off of Zillow stuff?
We worked on. I saw this property off of Redfin actually, and I was looking at off the comps around the area as well. Looked up in the neighborhood and the community. Looked at the other houses and the price of them as well. That's how we kind of compared it. Got our ARV and did our calculations as well.
Yeah, so I see that your area code's not in Texas, but I don't know if you knew, but Texas is a non-disclosure state. So the real values of the properties are really only through the multiple listing service, not through public data like Zillow or Redfin. So that's gonna throw off your numbers there. Let's see. So this property have any acreage on it or not really? Let's see.
Uh,
It's almost 2,000 square feet, and
yeah,
it's not. It's 4.4.
3 9 acres.
Yeah, not even a half an acre. And I'm just sitting here on a lot of inventory from what I can see. I'm looking at one that's listed on same county road, I think, 531, and it's just sitting there like there's nothing sold, or let me see if there's even something option pending in the last 180 days. Like, yeah, there's a lot of available property. The only thing that sold for 1,250,000, but I'm not even sure. Yeah, it's not even comparable. It's a huge mansion. So let me narrow down the list. So, I mean, it sounds like you don't really have real comps to, and I'm not trying to talk down on you. I'm just trying to help you out here. So, you need to be able to have
Yeah, no, I
your
don't.
your your real comps, especially if you're going to be dealing in Texas, um, of sold property ready available, because public data is not reliable in non-disclosure states, if that makes sense. So Redfin, Zillow, it's just not. And right now I'm in the MLS, the multiple listing service, and I'm not seeing anything that has sold, which is a
Yeah.
problem. That means that there's really
hmm
very little or no demand. And I see that this same property that you're trying to wholesale, I guess it got sold to Jesus for 85,000. And then he's relisting it now for 152, and you have it for 147. Let me see how long ago
hmm
was this. This was back. Oh, this was this was in October 19th, 2022. So this person looking at the previous listing, it seems that this rehabber ran out of money because he bought it for 85 and now it's listed back up again.
Yeah.
And it looks a little bit better but not finished.
Yeah.
Let's do something. Let's go to REI Automator. Do you know what REI Automator is?
No, sir.
So REI Automator, I'll send you a link to it for a 7-day free trial. It is an affiliate link, but you can check it out. It'll let you know like if there's any mortgages on the property and stuff. And the reason why that matters is this seems to be a flipper that is trying to sell without finishing it. He probably has some sort of private money or hard money loan tied up in it. Yeah, and just my automated valuation, it comes out to be maybe 257 after repair value, and that is just like a preliminary automated, system value that it spits out. But there's really like no flips around here, and there's a lot of inventory. This is not something that I'm really inclined to purchase unless the seller is able to do, terms that would make sense. And I don't know if
Terms like what?
terms as in just monthly payments and that would allow us to make a profit on the property. Yeah, but not sure about this one per se. I don't think he has a mortgage on it. He may have bought it cash from the looks of it. But yeah, he literally bought it in October for 85,000 and now he has it listed for 152 and the property's not really finished. So sell as is, great investment property. Recently renovated kitchen and floor, new fridge, roof recently replaced, huge backyard. Yeah, but it's not finished. Yeah, I would say on this one that I don't see what was the ARV that you thought on this property?
360,000.
Yeah, so if I ask you how did you come up with that, you got to be able to tell me this comp, and here's the details on these comps, and here's how I came up with that number. And based on, calculating whether it's cash flow or equity, this is how money you could make, Joel. But just getting it under contract without really getting solid comps and really being able to articulate the profit, it's gonna be tough to move, especially in this environment. And there's really like no sold comps here, brother. Like there's like literally nothing that has sold within a mile that is relative to the same square footage. Although there is a bunch of properties that are listed and are just sitting. I'm seeing one, two, yeah, there's 5 listings that are active, none of them pending. So this is definitely a buyer's market right here.
A buyer's what? Sorry.
A buyer's market, because essentially you're not getting any absorption on the market, meaning you're not getting any properties going under contract or selling.
Yeah.
Then if I go out 2 miles, yeah, I mean that house is the lowest sold house. That's the lowest bought house. And as wholesalers, we want to get properties on their contract and then being able to offer them lower than what anything that's on the market, like significantly lower.
Yeah.
Rents are, let me see what's the deal here. Don't really see. Yeah, I mean, going out 2 miles, there's this property, if you want to write the address down, 143 West County Road 136. That's sold, and it sold for 270, and it was complete. Well, floors are kind of, but it was redone for. Yeah, 143 West County Road. But I mean, it's a superior lot, superior type of property, just superior overall. It's a 1977 build, and this one is built in 1964. So yeah, I mean, I don't see this property that you have under contract being worth more than 250.
Yeah.
You know, let's see, this maybe even less. Once it's all finished up, and it's 2,000 square feet, it probably still needs about, just looking at it, uh, probably around $30 a square foot. So that's about 60 to get it in tip top shape. And this is not necessarily a hot area. So 65 cents on the dollar times 250 minus 60 grand, a flipper, or for that matter, any serious buyer that knows what they're doing, they would want to buy this around 102,500 bucks. So just call it, low 100s. Obviously, there's always some wiggle room back
Mhm.
and forth, but you get the drift, right? I mean, you're not you're not in a super hot area. It's not like properties are flying off the shelf.
Yeah.
It's a rehab that is half-ass done. So you're gonna find issues. There's gonna be rework. You get what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be rework, um, on the property, and so trying to see if it can cash flow. There's one that rented for 2,240. Oh no, it didn't even rent. That's active. So the highest rental rented for 1,700. It lasted 30 days. It's a little bit smaller than ours. So yeah. I mean, you want to get this under contract, hopefully in the high 90s, so you can dispo it at 106, 106, 110.
Mhm.
If somebody pays more, then great, but I'm just telling you right now, there's much less buyers than there are sellers, and this property, it ain't gonna praise. So whether it's a landlord or a fix and flipper, they're gonna want a deal, because it's not a
Yeah.
great
No.
market. It's properties are just sitting here. They're just sitting. So I
Mhm.
don't know, man. Hope that helps. I'll send you a couple of resources if that helps. But I would try and
Yeah. No, I
renegotiate
appreciate
this
that.
down. Yeah, try to renegotiate this down to, in the 90s, um, and see what sort of counter they come up with. Because you can tell they've been on the
Mhm.
market for a minute, and
Yeah.
this guy did not finish the rehab. So a couple of things. I mean, you can try and renegotiate
Mhm.
cash or see about getting them to, sell it to you on payments, on terms. The thing is, it's really not, it, you know, any flipper is gonna have hesitation because nothing's pending. Like it's just sitting there. So
Yeah.
I say 240 and take it with a grain of salt. Because you got to figure out if somebody buys it,
Mhm.
finish rehabbing it, interest rates keep going up, people keep getting laid off. The best route is to go ahead and either reduce it down to the 90s, or get some sort of terms that favor the seller and the end buyer.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay.
brother. Well,
Yeah,
that's
that
my
makes
feedback
sense.
on
Thank
that
you so
one,
much.
man.
You just cut out. Sorry.
I said that's my feedback on that one. Hopefully it helps you out.
Mhm. Can you tell me a little bit more about the software? How you got the ARV?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll send you a couple links here when we hang up, but essentially it spits out what would be an estimated value. Now,
Mhm.
it's computer driven, so it's not 100%. You're taking it at face value. You always got to have specific comps. But
Yeah.
you'll see it. It's just a quick estimate, and it's throwing it at
Yeah.
257. So, with that said, that automatically tells me, okay, something's really off. And the more rural you go, I mean, Alvin, we've done plenty of deals in Alvin. It's not a bad area necessarily. Like, it's a good blue collar working class area, and we've done plenty of deals there and stuff. But once you get into the micro of it, of the actual neighborhood, and you understand that there's really no sold comps and you have nothing pending, that means that it's definitely a buyer's market because nothing is selling. It's just sitting. And this property being kind of half-ass rehabbed, then obviously this guy said, I'm not gonna finish putting money into the property, risking my money. I'll just try and cut my losses as much as I can. I mean, this is what this guy's doing.
I see that. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, brother. Cool, man. Well, I got you on my list. If there's anything we can do, we'll either buy the deal from you or help you move it if it's not something for us, okay?
All right, yeah, just let me know at this number and go ahead. Thank you so much for your time. And if you could send those resources, that would help out a lot. I
Yeah,
appreciate everything you told me.
absolutely, Brandon. Take care, my man.
All right, you too. You have
Bye.
a good day.
You too, bye. So in that video, this wholesaler got the property under contract for only 5 grand below listing price. He thought that the property is worth about 300, 325. And when I asked him about what are the actual sold comps, he just replied, we looked around Zillow, we looked around Redfin, which in a non-disclosure state like Texas, you need access to multiple listing service comparables, actual sold comparables. It's not public data. I'll leave in the description here some resources in case you are operating in this state of Texas. And with that said, you gotta be able to articulate the profit and how you're gonna make margin, right? As a flipper, as a landlord, as an owner financier, you as a wholesaler are the acquisition arm for these investors, right? You're doing the marketing, you're doing the negotiations, whether it's through a listing, like in this case, or direct seller. And when you actually sell the contract, the value that you bring to the table is only based out of the deal that you get for them. Good investors and real investors don't care whether you're making a buck or $100,000. They really don't. They only want to be able to make an actual deal. In this specific example, this deal was a dud because the values did not line up. There was about 5 properties that were listed. Nothing's going under contract. And this property itself, the guy that's listing it bought it for 85,000. Now he's trying to liquidate it for 165 and it's just sitting there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what sort of takeaways you have from this conversation with a true wholesaler go-getter like Brandon. And let me know what other video ideas you'd like to see on the next video. Peace.